and welcome to Lisa Lives. Time for the weekly catch-up. I will be doing my monthly favourites probably in a couple of days' time when I get the time. This is just going to be what I've watched over the last week. I'll try not and keep it too long, as I've just had a 20-minute rant about a Serbian film, which will find its way onto the internet if not already. So, this past week, what have I watched? Oh, before I start, I will say at the end of last week, only 2 people had a guess at this, so I'm assuming only 2 people watched to the end of the video. Last week I did a little like name that tune where I did the first sort of chordy note of a song on my guitar. And Shan from Rusting Willpower got it bang on. It was Hurt by Johnny Cash. So well done, Shan. I may do one at the end of this video as well. I may not, who knows. I don't want to play guitar to you because I'm not very good. But I thought it would be quite interesting to just do the first bar or the first. With Hurt, it was the first note is so up. Right, hang on. Wait, see Lisa doing the wrong note now. Well, maybe he has. This is a really old guitar. I got this when I was 18. It was the first guitar I ever bought for myself. So you'll see how, pling, you'll see how obvious this first note is. Hurt by Johnny Cash. I'm not going to play anymore because my fingers are all greasy. It's really hot here at the minute. It's pouring outside, but it's really, really hot. Why wouldn't you get off the shoulder things? Well, they never stay off the shoulder. It's my backyard baby's hat. I don't wear hats. I don't suit hats. Right, what have I watched this last week? Right, beginning of the week, popped up on Netflix, The Devil and Father Amorth. This is a documentary about an Italian priest who has performed exorcisms, and there's a lady called Christina that he has tried to exorcise possibly five or 8 times, can't remember, and they film this exorcism. It's all pretty rubbish. It's really boring. There is a bit, I don't know. You know that thing where you watch exorcism films and the voice is like, oh, I can't do it. It's like sort of like robotic almost. It's got like a machine sound to it, and you think, well, a person couldn't do that with her voice. It had that when she was talking and shouting, and that's the only thing that I found a bit, But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend that. I found it quite dull, to be fair. Next one, Before Someone Gets Hurt. I thought this one was actually okay. This is one about a group of ghost hunters that go to a assumedly haunted house that people have disappeared at, people have been murdered at in pretty like odd ways, and they basically want to take their program from the internet onto primetime TV, and they have the chance to do this if they go to this house. And they discover when they go to the house that there maybe is something paranormal or odd going on. They're the type of crew that like to joke with one another, like to frighten each other, and they think that it's a lot of that going on for a while, but then they discover that that's not the case and there's actually something weird afoot. I quite enjoyed that one. The Warning is the next one I watched. El Alviso. It's a Spanish movie. I really enjoyed this. It's not a horror movie at all. It's I would say it was a thriller. Again, this one's on Netflix at the moment. A mathematician figures out that a particular little 24-hour garage type shop has a really horrendous event that occurs over and over again with different time frames passing between each time, where someone always ends up dying. This mathematician is in the shop with his best friend, and his best friend is shot in that instance. He starts looking into this a bit more, and he discovers that there is a pattern, and the movie is basically about trying to prove that to people, about trying to figure out what the pattern is, about trying to stop fate from happening again. So I actually really like that. It's called The Warning, El Alviso. Next one, I Feel Pretty. I'm sure you've seen my rant. I'll put the link below to the review for I Feel Pretty. I'm not even commenting on it. It's honestly, no. Next one, Wildling. I love this movie. I've done a review of that also, which I will put below if you want to know a bit more detail. but that one I really, really enjoyed. It's just right up my street. Has parallels with Ginger Snaps, that's all. That's what it reminded me a bit of. I'm not saying it's about werewolves, I'm just saying that it had drew parallels with how it's portrayed to me. The female brain, this was really boring. I'm really interested in the psychology of the brain and why we do the things we do, and what makes our brains different from others, what makes men and women's brains different. And this movie intersperses what comes across like a documentary style thing, telling us different facts about the brain and where certain stimulus points are, and then there's like the acted part with various different couples acting out different scenarios that are being discussed, like certain things that's very common for men to feel, and other like women being overly critical and always finding fault with everything in themselves, in a partner or whatever that may be, or men's I don't know, not wanting to listen to their partner or zoning them out or wanting to be very macho, whatever it may be. Just lots of examples of the way people's brain thinks. I just found it really dull. I thought it was an interesting concept, but it wasn't very well executed. Marrowbone. Loved this as well. This is another movie that's on Netflix at the minute, I believe. I think. Is it? I can't remember. I did a review for this also separately, which I will pop the link to below. That's 3 movies. I'm trying to do this during the week. If I watch something that I really like, or I really hate, I will try and pop a review up midweek so I don't have to spend so long talking about it at the end of the week. So yeah, Marrowbone. It's a drama with a slight supernatural / horror element, but it's not like loads of effects, gore. It's not like out and out horror. It's slow. I don't say that as a bad thing. It's just a nicely paced story. But a lot of people, I know someone that watched this and switched it off after 20 minutes because they just were so bored. And this is someone that has admitted they watch a lot of crap, but they hated that. So I don't know, different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Next, Father of the Year. This is, again, it popped up on Netflix recently. It's got David Spade in it of Joe Dirt fame. And it's basically a comedy about 2 fathers who take that "my dad would beat up your dad" thing and take it a bit too literally and decide they're going to fight one another to prove who has got the best dad. Sounds a bit amusing. It wasn't really. It was a bit of a waste of time. I just wanted something that was like a no-brainer, and I watched that and it was a no-brainer, but it was terrible. Unfriended. I've seen this before, not the new one. We're still in Ireland waiting for this to be released. Everyone in America has seen it. I wanted to watch the first one again to remind, sort of as a reminder. I know it's got no tie-in to the second one, Unfriended Dark Web, but I just wanted to watch it again. And it was okay. It was an entertaining enough little movie. I wouldn't say it was great, but it wasn't awful. And the people in it were all very unlikable, I will say that. Still / born. I saw this review on Jen's Reviews from the Grave. Her and her son Christian spoke about this one. I watched it because I liked sort of what she was saying. I do agree with most of what she said about it. It was entertaining enough, it kept my attention, but Jen pointed out, and she's so right, that the most frustrating thing about this movie is the amount of terrible decisions that the protagonist makes. Awful, awful decisions. One point that Jen made that's just so true. The premise of this is a woman goes into hospital to give birth to twins, and only one twin survives. When she comes home from the hospital with the baby, the 2 cribs are still both there. All of the stuff for the 2 babies are still there. Now, would a normal man, a normal husband or partner, not have for his wife taken all that down before she came home? I would think so. But he doesn't, and she comes home and a lot of strange happening starts to occur. And most of these strange happenings tends to be originally around that second cot, the empty one. So why did they not take it down? Who knows? But there's so many terrible decisions. At one stage in this, the woman is bathing her infant in the bath, in a proper full-size bath, and she hears what she thinks is her husband come in downstairs. Well, it is her husband come in downstairs, and she comes out of the bathroom, and she leaves the baby in the bath with a tap running. What parent in the world is going to do that? Leave their baby in the bath with a tap running while you leave the room. The door slams shut, she can't get back in again. And that sort of thing happens more than once. And when you watch it, you think there's no mother in this world that's going to do that. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, I say all that, but it's okay. It's worth a watch. It's not awful. It's not fantastic, but it was okay. A Serbian film. Probably my rant will be published before this weekly update, so you can watch that. I will put a link in here. If you've seen it and enjoyed it, good for you. I hold you no ill will. If you haven't seen it because you are worried about the disturbing nature of what's within it, like I was before I watched it, don't watch it, because however bad you think it probably is, it's probably worse. It was, as far as I'm concerned. Hotel Transylvania 3. Went to see this with my son and husband at the weekend. Really enjoyed it. I love these movies, Hotel Transylvania movies. Just right up my street. Really funny. Love the characters, love the voices. Really enjoyed this when it was just as good as the two others. Kicking and Screaming. This is just another like family kiddie movie. It's really hard. Isaac's off school for the summer holidays at the minute, so I keep trying to find suitable movies. He doesn't like anything remotely horror based. I've tried things like The Gate, less scary stuff, but he's not really into it, and he loses attention if it's too much talking. Like, I found that one, Kicking and Screaming, because what's the guy that was in it? Oh, what's his name? He's in Step Brothers. He's in Daddy's Home. Oh, Jesus, I've forgotten his name. I'll put it up here. He was in it, and we both quite like him, so we watched it, and it was awful. It's about this guy whose name that escapes me right now, and his father is just really, really competitive, and it comes to pass that his father is coaching a football team, and the son is also coaching a football team, who end up going up against each other. The guy and his dad both have kids that are the same age. Their partners got pregnant at the same time, and one of the kids, the dad's kid, is a little superstar, is great at everything, really sporty, and the main guy's son, which would be the older guy's grandson, isn't very sporty and finds things a bit difficult. I thought it was going to be loads about the kids playing football that Isaac would really enjoy, but it wasn't. It's just really dull, really boring. I'm cooking in here. I'm going to have to go soon. My hair's too long. No, it's not. It's too thick. It's too frizzy. And can you see how shiny my face has started to go because I'm starting to sweat? Right, so that was the last movie I watched last week. Reading. I'm reading a new one. I have abandoned The Long Walk by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King, because I kept falling asleep. I just could not keep my attention. I'm now reading The Killing Lessons by Saul Black, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I won't go into much detail about what it's about just yet because I've only recently started it. It's at the minute we've had a home invasion. We think the mother may be dead. I'm not sure. I shouldn't really be telling you that, should I? The daughter has escaped on foot and is running through a forest being chased by this big burly scary bloke, and it's been going on quite a while now. She's trying to escape him. It's riveting. It's quite edge of the seat stuff. You're just desperate to know what happens next, and they keep ending chapters on cliffhangers, so it's really keeping me reading. TV. Two major shows started this past week. Orange is the New Black, which I love. I've watched, I think, 4 episodes of that, 3 or 4. I'm not enjoying it as much at the minute as I have done previous seasons. I don't know if it's the introduction of just so many new characters, or because I tend to always be doing 2 things at once and I haven't given it enough of my attention. But we'll stick with it because I do love that show, and Alex Voss is just the hottest woman in the planet. She's just beautiful. And the other one is Castle Rock, the new Stephen King drama. Is it a drama? Yeah, so there's only been 3 of those released as far as I know, unless more have been released that I don't know about yet, and I am loving it. I'm really, really liking it. And the amount of references to Stephen King novels and movies is just amazing. If you watch the credits for this, they've got, if you like watch them and slow them down, which I'm an anorexic, which I did, You've got like Cujo, you've got references to the Green Mile, references, you've got the cover of Needful Things, like a churchy spire in the background, you've got references to It. You've even got two numbers, is it 217 pointing to 237, which is an indication of the change of room number from Stephen King's novel to Stanley Kubrick's movie of The Shining. You've got things from Misery, including several different covers of Misery books, and they're all like melded together really fast. But if you slow it down and pause it, you can see them all, and it's quite interesting. But I'm loving the storyline. I'm not going to go into any detail because I would say most people that I know that haven't seen it will be interested in watching it, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but so far I love it. And Bill Skarsgård is just awesome. He is so good at the minute in this. He hasn't said an awful lot, but all the acting is all on his face. I absolutely love it. And I think that is all really I've watched this past week. Entertaining the wee man off school for summer holidays, so a lot of the time has been spent doing that. I apologise, I'm not really online that much at the minute, sort of reading and commenting and things like Facebook I'm barely using at all. If anybody watches my videos that sent me a friend's request on Facebook, I started getting quite a few friends requests, and I'm thinking, who's this, who's that? And it turns out I think most of them were from people on Killer Flicks, so I just accepted the ones that came in. But after 2 days had passed, and I'm not exaggerating, I promise this is true, after 2 days had passed I'd had over 200 friends requests. And because I'd blindly accepted them at the start, I felt obliged to accept all of them. But then when they were all on my page, I thought, I don't know these people, and you know, that page is my private page. I don't have a page for my channel because I just don't have time to update all these different social medias. Like I am a mum working with a kid, I just don't have time. So I deleted everyone off again. That's awful. So if you have sent me a friend's request on Facebook and I accepted it and removed it, apologies, but unless someone really sends me a message and tells me who they are, I'm not going to accept a friend's request just from random people, because I'm not getting to keep up with friends and family as to what's going on in their life, because my newsfeed is just flooded with just random people I don't know. So I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want people to think I'm being really rude and weird. It's just I don't really add people unless I've sort of spoken to them, know who they are, all of that sort of jazz. So just to get that out there. Anything else of any interest? I don't think so. Should I give you another little name that tune at the end? Yeah, let me see. What can I do? Alright, I've got one. Bling! My little white pig. It's quite cute, isn't it? Right, I don't know if this is tuned properly. My camera filled up and I literally had got about 1 minute just to say bye bye and play a note, and so I had to transfer everything off it, so I'm well hacked off. At least I got my hair back in a ponytail because it's so hot, I'm just melting. Right, I will give you a couple of notes and see if you can name this tune. Hopefully it picks up okay. I'm not using a plectrum for this because I don't like how this sounds with a plectrum, to be honest. Oh, jeez. Anybody that knows a good old rock ballad will know that one. Who is it? Right, so I'll leave you all for this week. I'll be back later in the week with my monthly favourites for July. I don't even know if I need to do a monthly favourites if I'm doing a weekly update every week. I possibly might stop the monthly favourites because I tell you what I really like during each week. Yeah, so, and I know I've got different videos I need to get out there, so I'm really conscious that I'm just not keeping up at all at the minute. So yeah, anyway, I will leave that there for now, and thank you for watching, and it's over and out from Lacey Lives.